There's a couple of stories that I want you to read today in my show prep, and you can get it at glennbeck.com. It is free, but there's many stories in here, but I'm going to give you a couple that I think are very important to read. The first one is, just like in September 2008, many investors fear a dangerous chain reaction is starting on Wall Street. Listen to this. Widespread selling that we saw on Tuesday was more than just a little bit frightening. The Dow just kept plunging through the day. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ actually performed even worse than the Dow did. Dow Industrial average slid 1,200 points, or 3.94% to close, blah, 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 blah. Just 5 stocks on the S&P 500 finished in positive territory. Tech stocks were hit particularly hard, with Facebook parent Meta skidding 9.4%. NVIDIA shed 9.5%. Worst day for stocks since the early days of the pandemic. But one bad day does not make a crisis. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. When you can compare the current behavior of the stock market to how it behaved in 2008, it's a little frightening. I want to put a chart up if you're watching BlazeTV. The red is 2008, and the blue line is current.
That's almost exact. That's
a little terrifying, isn't it?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's happening in the same times. You need to... Hang on. You know what? I've prepared. I just want to take a quick little break here just to regather ourselves.
And now, the Glenn Beck program presents Distracting Happy Thoughts.
It's a puppy dog in a car right there.
Look at,
See, look at the puppy dog.
Sticking his head out the window. That's always
so
fun
funny.
and nice.
Yeah.
His tongue is wagging.
That's
so
great.
Fun. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Okay. Now,
now back to death and destruction.
let me give you the next article. Inflation is turning hyper. Yeah.
Like in Argentina, where it's at about 100%.
Only at 100%.
Did you see though that they're raising their interest rate? Get this. We think it's bad here. They're raising their interest rate to 75%.
Yeah.
75% interest?
What?
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
You can't. You cannot function. There's no.
No.
It's just like you're not getting.
You're
That's
done
a
as
mob
an economy.
loan. That's
Yeah,
a mob loan.
Right.
But Argentina has gone through this before.
Yeah.
Here's this is interesting. If you look at the housing market today, the Fed raising the interest rates has caused a crash of unprecedented proportions. 500,000 single-family homes sell, new sales, the lowest since 1952. So we went from the highest to now the lowest since 1952.
Of course we did. This is when I'm trying to sell my home. Of course we did.
Yeah, I know.
I'm only 1 year behind, but it might as well be 100 years.
Exactly right. Mine's almost finished.
Is it?
2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2
Mine's
weeks.
almost finished. Yeah. I said to my wife, because literally, I am not making this up. Literally, one of the workers, I said, so when is this going to be done? Literally. Oh, definitely within the next 2 weeks. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Has it been a year or more?
A year?
2 years?
2.
Has it really?
It's been 2 years. 2 years.
Gosh, that's unreal.
Yeah. So anyway, you just can't get stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, that's
man,
true.
Can't get that.
That's true.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Anyway, so the housing market is trouble. You know what's happening with your grocery prices. It is
out of control.
Groceries have had the largest spike and are more expensive than they've been since 1979 at the height of this nonsense. And we are not finished. We are going into bad prices.
Think about that. That's the Carter years that were so bad and that we remember so
and this
not fondly.
is the beginning of it. Okay, so this story is wrapped around. Could we do one more little happy thought before we go into this? Because
Yes,
And now, the Glenn Beck program presents Distracting Happy Thoughts.
Look at it, it's a puppy on a bed. Look at it, just kind of scratching underneath his cheeks there. I love that part. No. You just want to kiss your puppy over. Okay. Listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
This is Europe. Money supplies took off during COVID lockdowns. Now it's about to take off again to pay everyone's energy bills. But that's not all. Demands for currency and credit to be conjured out of thin air to pay for everything will be coming back thick and fast. Expectations that energy prices, including European electricity, have peaked are naive. Putin is yet to put the winter and spring screws onto Europe and the world fully. It will be surprising if global oil and natural gas prices in Europe are not significantly higher on a 12-month view. Europe has messed up its electricity supplies. That is where energy costs will rise most. Bankers are trying to reduce their loan exposure to rising interest rates, undermining the GDP. Because paying for everyone's energy bills, rescuing troubled banks, collapsing tax revenues, and difficulty in selling government debt on rising yields, governments are expected to apply economic stimulus to support both their economies and financial markets. Furthermore, a far greater impact on prices than contracting bank credit is the expansion of central bank credit. The replacement of commercial bank credit by central bank credit will have a far greater inflationary impact than the deflation from the bank credit alone. What they're talking about in this story is right now, the Europeans have put price controls on Russian gas and oil. And now they're doing this to protect the households and the businesses from the energy crisis. But now they still can't control it, and people aren't able to do it. So Switzerland and now the UK are combining inflationary monetary policies of recent years, environmental wokeism, and what they say in this article, the most irresponsible energy policies with a decision to sanction the world's largest energy exporter. The G7 and G20 now are all about agreement acting together, a united front to prevent the markets from taking control of events out of government's hands. Lines of communications between the formal meetings, blah, blah, blah. They're just going on to say everyone now is working together. All of the central banks in Europe are working together. In Britain's case, it is proposed, listen to this. In Britain's case, it is proposed that electricity and presumably gas bills will be fully funded by the government, anything above £2,500 per household. So if the energy price goes over, and it is, if it goes over $2,500, the government will pay for all of that, with support arrangements to be put into place for businesses. Now, France, most of their nuclear power is now shut down. 32 plants out of the 56 nuclear reactors they have, 32 of them are now out of action. 4 are showing signs of corrosion and small cracks in the cement works, and 12 reactors are suspected of being similarly affected. The other 16 are now being shut down for maintenance. Who is expected to sell? Who is the UK expecting to get all of their energy from? France. How they're going to support small businesses remain unclear. It is extremely complex, but there's little doubt that without the support, the economy will collapse this winter as businesses shut down, unemployment skyrockets, and the lowest rungs in society, The elderly and struggling single mothers find it impossible to keep body and soul together. From the government's point of view, if nothing is done now, revenue will collapse, welfare costs will escalate, civil disobedience will worsen, and law and order will break down. The same problems will arise in the European Union, with some nations facing greater propensity to riot. So here's what's going to happen. This is what this is saying. There's no market for these bonds anymore, the loans. Okay, every time we spend money, we have to sell that bond. It's like when you have a school board bond. Yeah, we're going to raise the taxpayer money over this period of time. Should we build a new school? And you always vote yes for these bonds. Well, that's because you're paying for them. You're voting to say, yes, I'm going to pay that. You notice we don't vote for government bonds because there's not enough tax dollars to pay for what we're spending. So we instead go to other countries and say, can you buy this? Because we want to spend this. So you buy this piece of paper saying that we're going to pay you back at, this interest rate. Nobody wants to buy them. And it's not just us. The entire world has said to the Western world, no, thank you. England is already at 110% debt to GDP, which means everything for an entire year that they spend, build, make, sell, everything, they still have 10% more that they still owe. So what's happening? Wow. As the energy prices get more expensive, as food prices get more expensive, the government has to spend more holding people up. If no one will buy their bonds, and no one will, gang, we all are going to have to just start printing money. That's what's coming. If you listen to any of these liars, or they just may be misinformed, or I could be wrong, honestly. I could be wrong. Do not take my word as gospel. But I have spent 20 years focused on this problem and what's coming and how it all fits together. These experts are looking at one little slice of the pie. I've been looking at the entire revolutionary state, from technology to joblessness to instability and riots on our streets, to our instability of our government, all of it. And I warn you, Europe is about to go through hell and tighten everything down because we are shortly going to follow. What you're seeing right now. Sarah just said, please. Puppies.
Yeah.
And
puppies.
now, the Glenn Beck program presents Distracting Happy Thoughts.
Oh, look at it.
Good.
It's a dog and a kitty cat laying together. Oh, look at them. They're kind of like hugging each other. Oh, they're so sweet.
Adorable.
That's so sweet. Okay. So it's a nightmare about to hit. Please, fear not. The heavens are engaged. Are you engaged with the heavens? You are not going to convince God to be on your side. We must be on his side. Realign everything in your life now so you can be on his side. And together we will weather all of these storms.
If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to our channel so you'll be sure to see similar videos from BlazeTV with the added bonus of signaling YouTube that your voice and opinion still matters. And if you're looking for more great conservative content, check out one of the 2 videos suggested here.